Some mysteries are so strange that even with modern science, we still have no answers. Tonight, 10 cases that have baffled investigators for decades. Some have body counts, some have impossible physics. All of them are real. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers tore open their tent from the inside and ran barefoot into a Russian blizzard. They were found scattered across the snow, some with crushing internal injuries and no external wounds. Whatever made them flee, nobody knows. The Voynich manuscript is a 600-year-old book, written in a language nobody on Earth can read. It contains drawings of plants that do not exist, astronomical charts of unknown stars, and a flowing script that has resisted every codebreaker who has ever tried. On July 2, 1937, Amelia Earhart's plane vanished over the Pacific Ocean. Despite the largest search in naval history at the time, no trace of her, her navigator, or the aircraft has ever been confirmed. Dozens of theories exist. None of them stick. In 1947, ranchers near Roswell, New Mexico, reported strange wreckage scattered across their fields. The military first announced they had recovered a flying disc. Within hours, that statement was retracted and replaced with weather balloon. People are still arguing about it. Stonehenge has stood for over 5,000 years. The stones weigh up to 30 tons each and were transported nearly 200 miles using technology that supposedly did not exist yet. Who built it, how they built it, and why are still genuinely unknown. In 1908, a massive explosion flattened over 800 square miles of Siberian forest. The blast was 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. No crater was ever found, no meteorite fragments, nothing. Just flattened trees in a perfect circle. The Bermuda Triangle has swallowed dozens of ships and aircraft, often in clear weather with no distress calls. Compasses spin, instruments fail. While much of it can be explained by ordinary maritime accidents, some disappearances remain genuinely impossible. In 1976, a NASA orbiter photographed what looked exactly like a human face carved into the surface of Mars. Decades later, higher-resolution images suggested it was just a trick of light and shadow. But the original photograph still keeps people awake at night. On the morning of November 30, 1872, the ship Mary Celeste was found drifting in the Atlantic. The cargo was intact. The lifeboat was missing. The crew had vanished without a single sign of struggle. They were never seen again. Crop circles began appearing in fields across England in the 1970s. Intricate geometric designs that appeared overnight, sometimes hundreds of feet wide, with the wheat stalks bent but unbroken. Some are confirmed hoaxes. Others remain unexplained. Easter Island sits in the middle of the Pacific, thousands of miles from anywhere. Yet ancient Polynesians somehow built nearly 1,000 massive stone heads called moai, some weighing 80 tons. How they moved them across the island is still a mystery. In 1937, a man named Stanley McDaniel walked into a Tennessee diner, ordered breakfast, paid the check, walked out the door, and was never seen again. His car was still parked outside with the engine running. He had no enemies, no reason to disappear. The pyramids of Giza are so precisely aligned with the stars of Orion's belt that the chance of it being coincidence is mathematically near zero. Yet the ancient Egyptians supposedly built them without telescopes, computers, or written astronomy. Off the coast of Japan lies the Yonaguni Monument, a massive underwater stone structure with sharp right angles, staircases, and what looks like carved faces. Geologists say it is natural. Others say it is the remains of a city lost 10,000 years ago. In 1947, 3 children disappeared from their beds in Lockport, Australia. Their parents heard nothing. The doors were still locked. Decades later, an elderly man on his deathbed in another country confessed he had taken them. He died before saying where. The WOW signal. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a 72-second burst of radio energy from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. It bore every signature of an intentional alien broadcast. Despite countless attempts, it has never been heard again. In 1959, a Soviet expedition into the Ural Mountains went silent. When rescuers arrived, they found the hikers' bodies showing radioactive contamination, missing tongues, and orange skin. The Russian government classified the case for over 50 years. The Antikythera mechanism is a 2,000-year-old Greek device that functions as an analog computer. It tracks planetary positions and predicts eclipses with stunning accuracy. Technology this advanced was not seen again for 1400 years. On Christmas Eve 1945, the Sodder family of West Virginia put their children to bed. By morning, the house had burned to the ground, and 5 of the children were missing. No remains were ever found. The parents searched for them for the rest of their lives. In Mexico's Sea of Cortez, fishermen reported strange creatures in 2003. Massive Humboldt squid attacking boats and divers. They are getting larger, more aggressive, and moving into areas they were never seen before. Marine biologists do not know why. The Taos hum has been reported by residents of a small New Mexico town since the early 1990s. A low-frequency humming sound that only certain people can hear. Investigations have found no source. The people who hear it cannot make it stop. In 1971, a man calling himself D.B. Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727, collected $200,000 in ransom, and parachuted out the back of the plane somewhere over Washington state. He was never identified. He was never caught. The case is still officially open. Cicada 3301. Starting in 2012, an unknown group has been posting impossibly complex puzzles on the internet. They involve cryptography, ancient languages, and physical clues left in cities around the world. Nobody knows who runs it or what the goal is. The Hessdalen lights have appeared in a remote Norwegian valley for over a century. Floating, glowing orbs, sometimes the size of cars, that move with apparent intelligence. Scientists have built permanent observatories there. They have data. They have no explanation. Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch. Nearly every continent has its own legend of a massive human-like creature hiding in the wilderness. Most sightings are misidentifications or hoaxes, but a small percentage involve credible witnesses, physical evidence, and no good explanation. In 1518, the city of Strasbourg was struck by a strange epidemic. Hundreds of people began dancing in the streets and could not stop. Some danced for days until they collapsed and died. Modern doctors still cannot agree on what caused it. These are the cases that refuse to close. Some will be solved someday, most will not. Which one stuck with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next